gonna redo this light work that I did. Is same area. Well, I did this last year, a bit of Bondo and a little bit of rust repair. But as you can see, it's bubbling up, so it needs to be redone. So this part's still okay, so I may let that be, but I may actually just sand it all just to redo it all. But I'm going to actually, so I'm going to film this for a little bit. Make sure you always sand every little bit of area where you want paint, so that way it adheres to the surface metal. You start with the thicker grit, slowly go down grit until the fine grit, or you just lightly go over it one more time. See right there, that's why it's not sanded. That's a small millimeter indented where, see, now it's hitting it because I'm angling the sandpaper. This one too, you want to get underneath like I did last time. Fix what little bit you can of the original material. As you can see, I got it just in time where some has left it, you know, some broke off, but I saved a lot of it, so I'm gonna try my best to be very, very soft when I touch this with the sandpaper. Do not use a sander or a grinder disc, otherwise you'll wreck it. You have to use a sandpaper with a thick grit like that, otherwise it will wreck the metal. It's best to do Bondo work at a hot day too. Today is a hot day, about 82 degrees out, 83. As you can see, this Bondo showing right there, where you can see I did fill in a hole, a small hole. Like I said, you can only fix it if there's original metal next to where the rust is. Otherwise, it cannot be fixed, because then you'll just be, how you say, you know, it's hard, I don't know the right word to use. It won't be fixed. And anyway, there's a little bit right here where the door shuts. You gotta be very gentle too, because I saved the rigidity of that. And anyway, I'm gonna take a look at the other side here, see what that looks like compared to that little bit right there. Okay, that's how it's supposed to look. So I did a good job on that other one where I saved the rigidity where it dents in just slightly. Okay, and as you can see, this side didn't need to be worked on yet, but if you can compare the other side, I'm gonna pause it and then go over there. I did a pretty good job fixing that structural rigidity of the metal. See, not the, you know, like right there, it may need another coat of paint. You can see where the work has been at it, but we'll see how much paint I have left over. Otherwise, in my opinion, that's pretty decent right now, but I might as well do it. Might as well do it right now. Right now in front of you. There's that. One last coat of paint over 2 coats of clear coat. Probably shouldn't or needed to do that, but one very light coat, so that way you don't see the little cracks. You can kind of see it, made it a little better. But I ain't gonna touch it now or sand anymore. And I'll use a tack cloth. That's what I'll do next. Okay, you got the tack cloth here, or cheesecloth. They call it tack cloth, but some people insist it's called cheesecloth. It's not made out of cheese, but since it looks like it's cheese, then they say it's a cheesecloth. Anyway, that's just a piece of knowledge for you, in case you ever heard somebody say it and you didn't know what they were talking about and you didn't want to ask them. Now you know. And anyway, I did a pretty good job on this before, so I'm gonna just try to seal it with primer first, a little bit, and then hit it with the paint. Not in this area, but just maybe right here and there. Or should I sand it down more? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to wreck this. This took a lot of time because I lightly tack welded a small piece of metal, and then I put anywhere from a 1/16 of an inch to an 1/8 of an inch of Bondo over it. And anyway, I'm just gonna paint it and try not to have anybody open this door actually too when I'm done. Because at the end of the day, it really ain't that bad yet to really, how you say, undergo a full recreation of what I just did a year ago. So I should just, as I'm doing tacking it, getting it ready here to have it sprayed with the primer. Okay. Clean up a little bit. Gonna need to have the vehicle get jump, battery jump. Because there is no more lights in this vehicle when you shut off when you shut the door. Alright, here we go. very careful here. First I'm going to do the bottom part. Voila! Alright, after you're done with the primer, lightly scuff it with the fine grit, the 1200 grit. 1000 or 800 grit is good too. Doesn't really matter as long as it's dark sandpaper. Alright. Just lightly do it. Then hit it with the tack cloth again. Because you just want to cover up the bits with the primer. The spots where you know you need actual primer. The other spots will take care of itself as long as you hit it with this grit, sandpaper grit. As you can see it scuffed it. It didn't do it too much, but it'd be just enough for the actual paint you want. My meadow green paint to adhere to it. And hit it with the tack cloth. Like I said, some people, they need to be picky and get a brand new one every time. To be honest, you believe me or not, it wouldn't really matter too much. A small bit or two more cleanly of particle ridden of how you say, primer particle. And anyway, it doesn't really matter. So I use the same bit, and believe it or not, that package I used now at least 8 times, because all I do is take a scissors and cut some off of it. And anyway, that was that. Now I'm gonna paint it. Remember, go very lightly at it because you don't want to ruin the look. Get the underneath there. Always keep like this, as you saw that paint flying. Some people don't care. Well, I care if I get paint in my eyeballs. Just my opinion. Anyway, I'm gonna let that dry. Alright, as you can see, looks a little better. Still got that cracking right there, but at the end of the day, they would expect worse on a vehicle that's 24 years old, almost 25 years old, almost a collector, almost technically an antique. So anyway, I'll fix it again once that time comes. So anyway, hit it with 2 more coats of paint and then clear coat. Alright, pausing. Okay. Coming up on 3rd coat. Voila. Alright, as you can see, blended it up rather nicely. Now I'm going to hit it with the clear coat 2 times and call it a day. Hopefully it doesn't run. Pausing it. Alright, well, I didn't like that that clear coat, so I'm going to try to paint over it. See, it's looking a little better already. I'm going to paint it one more time. It's fine that way, in a sense, because, you know, it's not really rusty, but it's painted over the rust. But, could be better, but it's more or less, how you say, needs to be covered with paint better. that was what was why I needed to fix it. The reason. Alright, hit it with one more small coat and be done. Voila. Signing off.